Hi, I'm Robin Stewart from www.robinstewart.com. I'm a 24-year-old woman living in London independently. I have Asperger's syndrome. I work as a trainer, mentor and non-clinical consultant. I wanted to post some comments on the latest PBS video with Peter Bell from Autism Speaks. Just a few things. Now, this is my personal opinion and it's nothing personal to Peter Bell or Autism Speaks. I just want to put across the way that I think, and maybe some people will agree with me and others won't, and I respect that. I understand why we use the word treatment when we talk about autism, but I think it's really, really important not to just look at autism as a clinical issue. Secondly, people on the autistic spectrum can live totally independently and have the same reliance on informal support networks as neurotypical people can. Thirdly, neurotypicality, i.e. not being autistic, is a spectrum in itself, and there are people who are neurotypical who make less of a contribution and cost the state more than others on the autistic spectrum. But everybody is different. So I think that when we're talking about, trying to find a cure for autism or prenatal testing, I get really concerned because I think that autism is a perfectly natural part of humanity, and I don't think that your worth should be measured on if you can make a global difference to people, because sometimes small differences can have a knock-on effect. For example, I knew somebody who was on a rotation in a hospital on a getting into work programme, and he was working in the records department. Now, he was autistic and it was really important to him to uphold confidentiality, and so they changed some of the rules a little bit to make sure that he was fully accommodated, and that actually made the department run more efficiently, which meant that they saved money. They didn't cost as much money because they got things done faster. And he's now got a job, so he's costing the state less money than he would have done otherwise. So I see that as being a really major contribution. And I don't think it matters whether you're a savant. So savant syndrome is a separate condition, but it's the condition that means that you have an amazing ability. For example, Stephen Wiltshire has savant syndrome. He can go on a very short helicopter ride above a big city like New York and then draw precise details from memory onto a piece of artwork, and that's incredible. But not everybody has those skills who's autistic, because savant syndrome is a separate condition. So I just think that those are points that you really need to think about, because if we have a prenatal test for autism, now there isn't one at the moment, but if there was, and people had the option to abort children that were on the autistic spectrum, I think that would be a really great loss to society. And I mean that. I'm not just talking about people who are high functioning. I mean a whole spectrum, because you wouldn't know from a prenatal test if a child was going to have Asperger's syndrome or if they were going to have Cancer. So I think that we need the whole spectrum, just like we need the whole spectrum of neurotypicals. I think it's really important. So I just want to put out those thoughts and see what you guys think in response. Thank you.